Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Football Feed with Queen City News Feed. I'm Cash Matlock, and as always, I'm joined by Rob Allen.
Good morning, Cash.
And it is a great morning. I haven't had coffee today, so I'm a little sluggish.
You're kind of running on this right here.
Yes, I have my Diet Dr. Pepper. I hope the doctor can help me this morning.
Well,
I got a prescription.
And I got a fever.
Yeah, for more Calvin.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Anyway, moving right along.
All right, moving along. Before we get things started, Rob, let's give some shout-outs to our sponsors. I want to kick things off with our proud sponsor, Tammy Thompson's Bail Bonds 101. If you need help fast, Tammy Thompson's Bail Bonds 101 is always on call. She's serving Lauderdale, Clark, Newton, and surrounding counties with confidential 24/7 support. Give her a call at 601-513-9588. Or you can stop by and see her at 600 Constitution Avenue. That is in downtown Meridian. And I do believe that first consultation is free.
Fantastic. I know Tammy's been on with us since day one. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah. She's an OG sponsor.
I love it. Also want to thank our friends down at All-Star Team Sports. When it comes to sporting goods, uniforms, whatever it might be for your favorite local team, that is the place to go, located near downtown Meridian. We're talking uniforms for basketball. I mean, we've got soccer that just started not so long ago. And before you know it, we're going to be talking about our spring sports as well. It's never too early to think ahead to the spring sports as well. And they've got it all at All-Star Team Sports. And good folks down there to work with. 601-483-7385. That is All-Star Team Sports. Uniforms, sporting goods, and more.
Yeah, go ahead and get your stuff now, and you can start out those seasons just totally prepared and dressed to the nines.
Yeah, because I was looking ahead. I mean, baseball will be starting and softball will be starting in late January, early February. So it's going to be here pretty soon.
Basketball's already started.
Exactly. So
it's time. Okay, so also want to give a shout out to Ujjwal Kumar with the Dillard's Men's Department at Uptown Meridian. And he is a style expert when it comes to men's fashion. So whether you want something new or you want to freshen up what you already have, definitely give Ujjwal a call. Or you can simply just go to Dillard's, go to the men's department, and ask to see Ujjwal Kumar, 601-686-1129. He has dressed both me and Rob. He's fantastic. He knows suits. He knows how to make you look good, Rob, and you can testify to that.
Well, and the service was just unbelievable. I mean, running out on the floor, getting this combination. I mean, he knows that line of work, and he does an amazing job at it. So
yes, he does.
All right. Big thanks going out to Brickhaus Brewtique, of course, located in downtown Meridian at 2206 Front Street. It is where Meridian goes to unwind. If you're looking to go for a place that has the largest selection of craft beer in Mississippi and some seriously good handcrafted food, they have it at Brickhaus. And, of course, if you're catching the big game this weekend, hanging with friends, or just kicking back after a long week, they've got you covered. And, of course, Bill wants to remind everyone, go blue. And, yes, the Michigan Wolverines are on the schedule this week. So we'll be talking about their game coming up shortly. There you see the website to visit them at on your desktop, brickhausbrewtique.com. It's where Meridian goes to unwind at Brickhaus Brewtique.
And we do want to mention that this podcast is now available where all of your favorite podcasts stream from. We're on pretty much everything. Just make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. And, of course, you can always watch us here on Queen City Newsfeed Facebook page or various platforms across the web. And we'll get more into that later in the show, Rob. But let's go ahead and get things kicked off with high school football. It is definitely down to the nitty-gritty here with certain teams, Rob. So
yeah, I mean, the schedule is very, very light as we are getting deep into the postseason now. And, yes, the Lamar Raiders, they are the last team standing on our broadcast schedule for Digio Strategies stations, obviously. And this is a semifinal game for the Lamar Raiders in the MAIS playoffs. They'll be taking on Natchez Cathedral. Technically, they're Cathedral Catholic, but I've just known them for many years as Natchez Cathedral because they were a public school once upon a time. Now they are in the MAIS. Okay. But, Lamar had the bye week a week ago, which was probably, it came at a good time for Lamar. Yeah. Had a few guys that were kind of nicked up injury-wise, but talking to Coach Jacob Land earlier this week, I'll be going by to see him here in just a few minutes to record an interview, but he said this is the healthiest his football team has been collectively across the board since early in the season. Of course, there's one player, obviously, that won't be playing, Robert Gardner. He had an ACL surgery, so he's done for the season. But beyond Robert, full roster is available for this ball game. So Lamar's going to have all their weapons ready to go for this ball game against Cathedral. Cathedral won their first-round playoff game last week against Pillow Academy. They were down 14-0 and came back and won 18-14. So that was a home game for them. Long trip from Natchez to Meridian. Lamar is favored, obviously, to win this football game. Lamar has had traditionally, when you go back into the history books, they've done very well at home in the playoffs. Last time they hosted a semifinal round game was back in 2018, and they ended up winning that game against Pillow to go win a state championship. So Lamar is looking for their seventh state championship in program history, and they got to get past this step right here against Cathedral Ball Club. And the winner of this game will play either Brookhaven Academy or Silliman Institute out of Louisiana, and the state championship, if Lamar makes it, would be next Saturday afternoon. So it would not be a Friday game. It would be next Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock over at Mississippi College in Clinton. So just bear that in mind in case Lamar does make it to next weekend.
So let me just get this straight, Rob. Okay, so if they win tonight,
yes,
then next week is the state championship.
Correct.
For Lamar.
Correct.
Okay.
So getting that bye was a big deal because it saves obviously a game off of the playoff schedule. That's why getting that bye was so important for Lamar, because you heal up a little bit.
Yeah,
you
come back stronger.
Some coaches look at it differently. They're like, well, I'd much rather go ahead and play and keep the momentum going. But when you got a team that's got a lot of injuries like Lamar has had toward the tail end of the season, I think the bye week probably came at the perfect time. So, but good luck to Coach Land and the Raiders, and there'll be a big one tomorrow night out at Gray Cobb Field. Last home game, no matter what happens. So,
okay, I gotcha. So let's move it on down. Then we got a few other matchups in our area. You want to start off with Clarkdale?
How about the Clarkdale Bulldogs going on the road last week?
Hey, man, all I want to say is
you knew it. You knew it was going to happen.
I'm a proud Bulldog. I knew this would happen. I've kept my mouth shut the past 3 weeks, because I didn't want to jinx anything.
Well, they went to Scott Central and won a nail biter, and now they get to go on the road to Emmett County. And I tell you what, the job that Clark started off really hot. I know the district schedule tripped them up a little bit. I mean, when you got Heidelberg's probably the best team in their classification. But Clarkdale, you don't know. Going on the road, could they do it 2 weeks in a row? We'll find out. But beyond that game, we've got, just like I said, very light schedule here. Newton County at Columbia. Union, our only undefeated team in the area. Yep. They finished the season 10-0. They won their first-round playoff game. They get Hazlehurst this week, so they're looking to go undefeated and go to a state championship here in the next week or two. Kemper County at Water Valley, North Forest at Heidelberg. I just mentioned them a few seconds ago. And Neshoba Central at South Panola. We have one game tonight. You've got Newton County Academy traveling all the way to River Oaks in Louisiana. So if Newton County Academy wins their game tonight, they will also be in a state championship. So good luck to Coach Nelson and the Generals. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
I mean, you can tell.
It's gotten down to the wire here.
When you get to this point in mid-November, it's getting to be a very, very slight schedule here. But hey, this is where you start to separate those good teams from the great teams, and we're going to find out after tonight and tomorrow night.
Now, if I remember correctly, Robin, I may be incorrect, but Heidelberg last week, didn't they score something around like 70 points?
They scored 78 against Newton.
78.
Yeah, they're pretty darn good.
Yeah,
Heidelberg. Okay. We knew going into the season they were going to be one of the better teams in that classification, and they have just been. I mean, they scored, I think, 60 plus against Clark, and they're really that good.
Yeah,
and
every time I see the scores, I'm like, wow.
A lot of, off the field issues this year with the school system, and of course the unfortunate incident that happened earlier this year, and of course the monkeys in the backyard as well. So,
two national news stories.
Exactly.
Two national news stories.
A lot of monkey business going on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Heidelberg, they're going to be one of the favorites to make it to the state championship for sure.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's move on down to college football. I know we've got some matchups here.
Well, we don't have any JUCO matchups. East Mississippi, unfortunately, lost to Holmes last week, so their season is now actually Gulf Coast. I'm sorry, Mississippi Gulf Coast is who they lost to last week. So no JUCO games. Those are all done for our area teams. West Alabama's getting toward the tail end of their schedule as well. They got Northeastern State coming to Livingston on Saturday. And beyond that, here's some other college matchups for you. Florida at Ole Miss. I want to start there with that ball game because Ole Miss basically for the Rebels right now, it's all in their hands right now. You win this game, I mean, you got Mississippi State left in the Egg Bowl, but basically your playoff hopes are sitting right there in your hands right now to get into the college football playoff. This is a revenge game for Ole Miss because if you remember last year, Ole Miss went down to Gainesville and lost that game against Florida, and that pretty much derailed their college football playoff hopes toward the tail end of the season. So kind of like the game against Kentucky they had earlier this year, kind of a revenge game. Okay. And, of course, I think Lane Kiffin has done a great job of handling the off-the-field distractions with all this coaching news that's going around with all these openings. So I think he's done a much better job of putting those distractions away from the team because they know it's all in their hands. They win these last two. You don't have to go to the SEC championship.
Yeah.
You don't have to. All you got to do is get into that playoff 12, and they are right there in the mix. They're number 7 this week. You win, you're in. It's that easy. But cannot take Florida for granted. This is it's a weird team. They get blown out of Kentucky last week. Yeah. They got an interim head coach. It's one of those games you can't sleep on. It'll be a night game. I think Ole Miss will probably take care of business here.
And then we're about 2 weeks away from the Egg Bowl.
Egg Bowl will be the Friday after Thanksgiving. So both State and Ole Miss will have bye weeks next week.
Yes.
So they'll both have the bye weeks going into the Egg Bowl the next week.
Okay. Well, we all know how that is and how people look forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be awesome.
And speaking of State,
speaking of the Egg Bowl,
speaking of the Egg Bowl, the other team in that matchup, Mississippi State going to Missouri, and boy, State. There was a lot of expectations last week. The big crowd, the big early kickoff against Georgia, came out, looked really, really good, and then all of a sudden it just kind of went by the boards. Georgia just really throttled State last week. I know it was a 41-21 game, but it was not even that close. I mean, there's some late touchdowns there for State, but now they go to Missouri. Missouri, they're starting a third-string quarterback. He did not look great in their loss this past week against Texas A&M. So this is two teams trying to get on the rebound. Mississippi State still.
Who do you favor?
It's tough to say. I mean, on the road, I would probably tip my cap more toward Missouri here, but with State, they got a little bit of injuries that are hitting them right now, especially in the secondary on the offensive line. So both teams have been hit with pretty key injuries. Yeah. Missouri runs the ball very well. State gives up a lot of yards running, so that could be a big problem for State going ahead. But I would probably favor Missouri in this one here.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go with State, but
look at you.
Not because of any data or anything, just because I have to.
You just feel it. You feel it.
I just feel it.
So,
all right, Texas State at Southern Miss.
Southern Miss went to Arkansas State, got another win. Charles Huff is doing. I'm gonna say this right now. It may not happen this year. Mm-hmm. But maybe in the coaching cycle next year, if there's openings, Charles Huff's going to get phone calls to maybe take over another job. So if I'm Southern Miss, you got to watch yourself on that because he has turned them around from a 1-win team to 7 wins already. I mean, that is an amazing turnaround for Southern Miss. So I really encourage Golden Eagle fans, pack that stadium and get behind them. They'll have Texas State coming in, and Southern's going to be favored in that one. And man, they got something special brewing down there in Hattiesburg.
Yeah.
So.
You never know. Okay.
All right, you ready? Here we go. Everybody together.
Oh, no.
It's roll tide. Is that a roll tide? I hear from over in the corner.
I already heard RTR like 3 times yesterday.
What? Okay. Boomer Sooner coming to Tuscaloosa. Yeah, you got Oklahoma coming into Tuscaloosa on Saturday. It'll be the 2:30 kickoff there in T-Town. And like Alabama's kind of in that same position that Ole Miss is in right now. It's in your hands. I mean, you go all the way back to the first game lost to Florida State, and now you look at the run Alabama has been on. You win, you're in. Because they have Oklahoma this week. I think they've got like Eastern Illinois or somebody like that coming to Tuscaloosa next week. And then I know you got to go to Auburn for the Iron Bowl. Mm-hmm. That can always be a little tricky, but you got to remember Auburn's kind of in that state right now. Interim coach, they're kind of in a weird spot. So, but like I said, Alabama, Ole Miss in the same spot, win and you're in. Oklahoma, pretty good defensively. Should be a good one over there, but I think Alabama will probably defend the home field pretty well.
Okay. And Texas at Georgia.
Yeah, probably about maybe 3 weeks ago, this probably would have not been a big game, but Texas has obviously got themselves back into the conversation, back in the top 10.
Georgia kind of has too, right?
And Georgia has too. Georgia's playing some good football right now as well. That game will be in Athens. This is a much bigger game for Texas because of the fact that they have lost 2 already.
Yeah.
I don't think the College Football Playoff Committee would get a 3-loss SEC team into the mix. I know the SEC schedule is tough, but it's a bigger game for Texas. You got to go on the road, though, to Georgia. So that's going to be a tough chore. And like I said, Georgia is looking more like the part every week. They looked not so much like that about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, but now they look the part.
Yeah.
And I think that win against Ole Miss that they had, that where they won there in the very end of that ball game, has kind of given them some juice going ahead. So should be a good one, though. That's going to be one of the better matchups of the weekend.
Okay. And so then we have Arkansas at LSU.
Yeah, Arkansas and LSU, wow. I was talking to a friend of mine who's an LSU fan, and, of course, they were just irate of how undisciplined LSU looked against Alabama last week. They're in a weird spot. You know, LSU's got the interim coach, too. I can't remember a time where we've talked about this many interim coaches.
Yeah.
But you've got 2 of them in this game.
Yeah.
Arkansas's got 1, and LSU has got 1.
Interim coach versus interim coach.
Yeah, and this is a battle for a rivalry trophy as well. The battle for the boot. Yeah, they got that big trophy. Arkansas and Louisiana is the battle for the big boot right there. So, but I don't know, flip a coin on this one because, I mean, I know it's at Baton Rouge, but, man, last time they played at Baton Rouge, they got whipped pretty good by A&M that night. So, but we'll see. But that's a tough one to call because of the 2 interim coaches there.
Okay, and then South Carolina at Texas A&M.
Texas A&M is really looking strong every week. They're in the top 5 as well. Man, look at the teams you got in the SEC. They're at the top of the rankings right now. You got Ole Miss, Georgia, and A&M all in the top 10. I mean, that's why they say it just means more in the SEC. But A&M should defend the home field against South Carolina. South Carolina's kind of been one of those more disappointing teams this year.
Okay, so out of all of that, like the one that is most interesting to me, Rob, would be interim coach versus interim coach.
Yeah, LSU, Arkansas, yeah.
But which one are you watching?
Probably the one to me that has a lot riding on it. I know probably the Texas-Georgia game. I mean, when you look at that on paper, that one has a lot riding on it for both teams. That's almost an elimination game in some aspects for the college football playoff. Georgia, if Georgia loses that game, I don't think it hurts them that badly. It just depends on if you lose it by a bunch of points or if it's a slim loss. So there's a lot the College Football Playoff Committee is going to be watching these last 2 or 3 weeks. But I think that may be the bigger matchup. And, of course, I don't want to discount Ole Miss and Florida, because Ole Miss has got everything in front of them, and so does Alabama. So, but, yeah, that Texas-Georgia game is a big one.
Okay, well, before we move on to the NFL, let's talk about Michigan for Bill real quick.
Yeah, Michigan playing Northwestern this week. Got to give our shout-out to Bill down at Brickhaus. And what's unique about this game is Northwestern and Michigan are playing this at a neutral site on Saturday. It's going to be an early game at Wrigley Field. Yeah, you heard right, Wrigley Field, where the Cubs play. They're playing it at a baseball stadium, which is very unique, and you see this sometimes happen.
How can they make that work with the field?
I don't know how they do
put
this.
in new turf or
I don't know how
on
they're
top of it?
I don't know how they're going to do this. That's why it's going to be so unique. It's going to be one of the more unique games of the weekend. But, yeah, Michigan has been playing very good football lately, and if everything lines up right, that Michigan-Ohio State game coming up in a couple of weeks, once again, is going to have a lot riding on it because Ohio State's still undefeated. Michigan still has a chance to play in the Big Ten championship. So there's going to be a lot riding on that one, but still kind of a unique game being at Wrigley Field. So.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so then let's move on to the NFL. Then we'll start out with the Buccaneers at the Buffalo Bills.
2 teams trying to rebound. Yeah, Buffalo lost that game down at Miami 30-13, which really shocked a lot of people. Buffalo kind of got back to their old ways of turning the football over. You know, Josh Allen trying to play hero ball all the time, turned it over a few times in that loss against the Dolphins. Buccaneers coming off a loss as well against a much improved New England team. This game is in Buffalo. Tampa Bay trying to keep a stronghold on the NFC South, and got to like Buffalo in a rebound game right here.
Okay, and then we've got Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, the Panthers, of course, lost a ball game last week to the Saints of all people, 17-7, and they're taking on a Falcon team who just rebounded. Actually, just lost a ball game over in Berlin. Yeah, they had a game in Berlin there, Cash. It was that early morning ball game against the Indianapolis Colts. So two teams trying to rebound once again in the NFC South. Carolina had been playing well before they went into that ball game against New Orleans. They were 4-1 in their last 5 ball games, but the Saints got an upset win, 17-7. I know a lot of folks are wondering where the Saints are at on the schedule. They have the bye week this week. So, but yeah, Carolina and Atlanta, it's always going to be a tough game there in the NFC South.
Gotcha. And then the Kansas City Chiefs versus Denver Broncos. Now, this is a matchup we saw last year, right?
Yeah, these are divisional. This is
a big matchup last year.
Yeah, this is a big matchup again this year too, because Denver has the best record in the AFC. Never thought I would say that. And Kansas City is a couple of games back of them in the AFC West, and Denver's just finding ways to win games. It's not pretty at times, but they're just finding ways to win games. And Kansas City, on the other hand, has played much better football. They struggled out of the gate early, the Fighting Taylor Swifts.
Yes.
And
I almost said it.
Yeah, I figured I'd go ahead and do it for you. but KC Denver, this probably is the game of the weekend for me in the NFL. So that's going to be a good one. The next one could be the game of the week as well. But Detroit and Philadelphia.
Okay. Detroit and Philadelphia.
Yeah, Detroit and Philadelphia. That'd probably be you have 1A and 1B game of the week. Detroit and Philadelphia. Detroit at Philadelphia. This could be your NFC championship matchup right here.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, of course, won a 10-7 game against Green Bay back on Monday night. They got Detroit coming in, 2 pretty good offenses. Man, that's a tough one to call. Philadelphia, Detroit. Man, flip Philadelphia at home, I would say there.
You say that? Okay.
Yep.
Every time I see the Detroit Lions, I think of Madagascar.
Madagascar, Detroit Lions.
I want to say it every time.
There you go.
All right, Dallas Cowboys at the Las Vegas Raiders.
Look at the Cowboys getting their own page right here. Look at this. Them by themselves against the Las Vegas Raiders. That'll be the Monday night game. Isn't it amazing how the NFL does this? They have the Cowboys on every single primetime game.
Yep.
Sunday night, Monday night, they know they sell tickets. They get eyeballs on their games. But Dallas coming off a bye week, I say they shouldn't have any problems against Vegas, but Cowboys have been truly inconsistent this year. They made a bunch of trades at the deadline to improve their defense, but we'll see what happens. So,
you remember since we're just doing pop culture references now, do you remember the SNL reference to the Raiders? I think it was Chris Kattan. He's like, "We love the Raiders.
We love the Raiders." And of course, my other favorite was the Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Yes. Okay, we could just go through the list, and I could do all my pop culture references for you guys.
That could be a great show one day. I like it.
I think, and we'll see the numbers drop.
Let's look at them analytics real quick.
All right, man. Any other matchups that you are super excited about before we kind of close things out here? Anything else you want to mention that I didn't ask you?
Well, obviously the big high school matchup's got to be Lamar. I mean, obviously this is the moment. I would say this is probably the biggest game Lamar has had on campus probably since 2018. So, and of course that night Lamar won on the very last play as time expired against Pillow. Yes, I remember that because I was on the play call. And, I can tell you a lot of historical things about that Lamar program, but this is without a doubt the biggest game that campus has seen since 2018, and
until next week, until
that game, you go to the state championship. But expecting a lot of big things out of Lamar tomorrow night with them being that healthy. So that's my high school game. College, you got a lot of options right there. The the Texas Georgia game rather is a big one, and of course Florida Ole Miss, and of course NFL. You got several to pick from. So, but yeah, this is where it gets really fun in November. And of course, the NFL will play all the way up until end of the year, and then we'll get into the NFL playoffs before you know it. So, and bowl season and college football playoff. It's a.
Remember, it gets really crazy.
Oh yeah, and now they got way too many of those bowls too.
Yeah, they do. Because it used to be a few unique ones. Now I'm hearing ones I've never heard of.
That could be another show too about the 30,000 bowl games they have in college football. If you're a sponsor, buy a bowl game. You can have a bowl game. So.
Right. Yeah. All right, man. So I just want to remind everybody to like, comment, and share on this video. And you can find us wherever podcasts are streamed. Also, Just a quick reminder, we usually have 3 broadcasts. This week, we only have one.
Only
We just
one
have
here.
The Lamar game.
That's right.
And that is on
97 OKK, the OKK app, and of course online. And we'll have the tailgate show is something different we do on the Lamar broadcast. We broadcast from the berm, right outside the stadium there. We tailgate with all the fans starting at 6 o'clock, and then we'll go up to the booth at 6:30 for the coaches show. So that's something a little different that we do to spend time with supporters and the cheerleaders and everybody else down there on the berm. So
I'm going to have to come by and see you guys.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow night.
Broadcast.
Yeah, interrupt the broadcast. You and a lot of other people.
Yeah, right.
So, but it's going to be a big atmosphere out there tomorrow night.
All right, awesome, Rob. We're looking forward to it. And we do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors before we head out. So Tammy Thompson's Bail Bonds 101. If you need help fast, Tammy Thompson is available. You can always call. She's serving Lauderdale, Clark, Newton, and surrounding counties. Give her a call at 601-513-9588 or go visit her at 600 Constitution Avenue in downtown Meridian.
Well, even though football season is winding down, that doesn't mean other seasons aren't about to kick up or have already kicked up. Well, you can get all your sporting goods and team uniforms and more with the great staff done at All-Star Team Sports. There you see the number on your screen. Call ahead at 601-483-7385.
Well, it's the holiday season, and that means it's probably time that you've got to dress up, right? You're probably getting invited to events.
Oh, parties are coming up.
Parties, holiday parties, family gatherings, weddings, funerals. Give Ujjwal Kumar a call. He is a men's fashion stylist, 601-686-1129, or simply go by Dillard's and see him in the men's department. That is Ujjwal Kumar. You can ask for him by name. He's great.
Absolutely. And, of course, finally want to thank Bill and the staff down at Brickhaus Brewtique. Of course, they're right in the heart of downtown Meridian at 2206 Front Street. And if you're looking to unwind after a long week and catch some of these games that we mentioned on the big screens there inside of Brickhaus, they'll have them for you. Even that Michigan game against Northwestern at Wrigley Field, you can catch them down at the Brickhaus. Of course, they've got some just delicious handcrafted food and the largest selection of craft beer in the state. And go by and see him this weekend. Tell him we sent you. And Bill wants to say, go blue.
Yeah. Tell him we sent you. It won't get you anything, but tell him.
It'll get you a nice pat on the back.
Right. All right. So speaking of all these sponsors, Rob, and speaking of all these different businesses and things like that, we're doing a competition.
Yeah, I wanted you to talk about that real quick. Yeah.
So the best of 2025, it is a new competition we've rolled out. It's kind of an online nomination voting situation where you are nominating. We're in the nomination period right now. So you're nominating your favorite businesses, but not all of them are businesses. You could nominate your favorite event space, your favorite tourist attraction, your favorite restaurant. We're trying to determine kind of who has the best what for 2025. So best food truck, best margarita, best doctor's office, best nursing home, all of the things that make our community great. We're trying to celebrate that. You can go to queencitynewsfeed.com and nominate. So this is the nomination period.
Yeah, there's the nomination page right there, so folks can kind of get a sneak peek at it. It's pretty easy to navigate through there. See, everything is kind of categorized, and you just click on your favorite link, and it'll carry you over into the nomination pages. And I believe nominations are going to be open until the 20th.
Yes.
And then voting will start thereafter. And then, of course, the winners will be announced, I believe, in mid-December.
Yes.
Is when all of that is going to be announced.
The week of December 15th, the winner will be announced. Now, voting is from November 24th to December 11th.
Fantastic.
But right now, go nominate.
Nominate.
Yes.
Okay. Nominate for your favorite football podcast too.
Yeah,
is that a category?
It should. After this, it's going to be.
Oh, they said no. What is this? We got to renegotiate.
Yeah, give me 15 minutes, Rob. Give me 15 minutes after the broadcast. I'll have best podcast host.
There you go
for a sports broadcast.
Throw us in the bucket.
All right, man. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We do want to give a quick shout out to our producers, Mackenzie Joyner and Nickie Farmer. And of course, as always, we are recorded in studio here at Digio Strategies. And we're kind of just seeing how the season plays out. We may see you next week. And we'll kind of see how that goes.
We're just waiting.
We'll see, who all makes it. So,
that's right.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you next time. Thank you for watching.